This is the first weekend that I have had since the holiday season, maybe even like Thanksgiving, that I have no plans, and I am honestly so excited about it. Dylan actually just left on a work trip, so I'm totally alone with the animals, and I am an introvert who loves some quality alone time, so I'm so excited to literally do nothing, rest, relax, rejuvenate, all that good stuff, starting with coffee and I gotta grab it, a good book. I really fell in love with reading again last year. I read, I think, like 73 books last year, and this year my goal is to read 80. But there's just something so nostalgic to me because I read so much as a kid. I love reading fantasy. When I first started reading again, I thought I had to read like nonfiction self-help books all the time, which, don't get me wrong, can be beneficial. My inner child wants magic and stories, and you can still learn a lot from reading that. So I switched over to the fiction. If you want to ever see what books I'm reading, I have a Goodreads account, so I'll link it down below. But today, or this weekend, I'm really excited to read Crooked Kingdom, which is the sequel to Six of Crows. I've actually had this book from the library for a while. I read on my iPad, but I've been putting it off because I didn't want to read with interruptions, and I thought if I read during the work week, I might have to stop to, you know, like be responsible or something. So I set aside this time to dig in, and I love like binge reading a book. You get so fully immersed in the story, especially when the writing is good. So let's begin. This book is 940 pages on my iPad. I can't wait. While this morning has been super cozy, my room is actually a mess, okay? I'm gonna be real with you guys. I need to clean it, but I don't want to clean it. So I'm gonna set a timer for an hour, play an album I have been loving recently, and just knock out as much as I can. How you been? Does it dream each night of some version of you, that pair of shoes and I'll split in half, but that'll have to do. Listen, when the stock market crash, ever go back? Come on. Ooh, this town's for the record now, and they're calling it downtown. Honestly, I am very good at creating messes when I'm stressed and not so great at picking them up afterwards. But then I feel like I have all these things and this clutter sitting around my house, and it definitely increases on my mental load. It makes me feel stressed out. But I'm trying to give myself some grace because I feel like it would be too overwhelming to say I need to clean all of this at once. I've been trying to have the mentality of, okay, let's tackle one room at a time. Let's set a timer, do it in baby steps incrementally over a certain period of time, and then hopefully just like maintain the cleanliness to sort of get myself back on track. I don't really feel like cooking, so I'm having some toasted sourdough with roasted garlic hummus from Trader Joe's. Then I topped it off with some za'atar, black pepper, and a drizzle of olive oil. None for this dog, but I'm just gonna eat this as sort of like a snacky lunch and then make a bigger dinner. Hello, it's dinner time. I have been craving like rice noodles and kind of like a peanutty sauce, and it reminded me that I actually have a recipe on my blog for some spicy sesame noodles that I made with my friend Liz. I will link the recipe in the caption below. I also probably shouldn't have had this entire glass of wine before making my dinner, but it's okay, we'll survive. Paying a lot of attention to make sure I cut my tofu safely. I'm just gonna cook my tofu in the toaster oven because it has this like nice sear plate and it cooks really fast and gets crispy. So I'm just gonna toss it on there and drizzle it with some sesame oil and salt. Keep things pretty simple. Honestly, sesame oil, I think generally should be more of a finishing oil. Like, it definitely loses some flavor when it cooks, but it still keeps some of the flavor. So I'm gonna use it. Salt, Just gonna toss this all up. And now I'm just gonna pop this in the oven, the toaster oven, because this will probably take like 20 to 30 minutes. Next, we'll bring a pot of water to a boil. The recipe on my blog does have a recipe for homemade wheat noodles, but I'm just gonna be using rice noodles today. And then it's normally just like a peanut tahini kind of sauce. It's actually Chinese sesame paste, but it doesn't have like any extra added vegetables besides cucumbers and green onion, but I am going to add a few extra veggies, because I didn't really eat any vegetables for lunch. So honestly, I feel like I keep seeing memes or like people hating on broccoli stems, and I don't know if it's just me, but I have literally never hated them. Like, I honestly think sometimes I like the broccoli stem more than the actual floret. It's like crunchy, like subtly sweet almost. I don't know. Tell me in the comments if you agree, because I don't really get the hate and I eat them every time. I do think for like recipe photos though, they don't look as nice, which is why I have some extra, because I filmed like a tofu recipe that I wanted to have steamed broccoli with. I prepped all of my veggies. The cucumber, cilantro, and green onion are more for chopping, but I'm just gonna add the broccoli and carrots in with the pasta water because I think these noodles don't cook for very long. These boil for 2 to 3 minutes, so I'll just add all of these in at the same time and we'll be good to go. I whisked up my sauce while the noodles were cooking. It's a mix of soy sauce, rice vinegar, peanut butter, sesame paste, and sugar, and sesame oil. So this is a double batch and my noodles and veggies finished cooking. So now I'm just going to pour some of this on top and mix it in, and then I'll show you once it's all fully decked out. Here is the final bowl. It's kind of covered by green stuff, but you can get the gist. And the last step is to top it all off with some chili oil. Under this mountain of spicy goodness is the nice creamy noodles. This is basically my lunch and dinner, since I basically had toast for lunch. Oh yeah. Creamy, it's tangy, it's spicy, got a little cool crunch from the cucumber. I can't believe I haven't made this recipe in the last like year. It's a banger. So I'll link it below if you want to check it out. Good morning. I just finished filming a video intro for work, so I got fancied up. I forgot I had to film this for a deadline, so I just quickly decided to do it today. I already had some coffee, and I usually will have coffee in the morning and matcha in the afternoon, but I already made this. You know what? I'm gonna put it in the fridge. It's gonna be okay. I don't want to give myself the shakes just because I filmed the video intro. But for breakfast, I'm having my baked banana bread oatmeal. If you watch this video and you see the other video, you'll know that I filmed it on the same day. But this stuff is seriously so good, and it's great for meal prep too. I have been reading, and I just got to like the last part of the book. I think there's like just over 100-ish pages left. And it is so good, and I know I'm not gonna want to stop, so I'm gonna make myself lunch so I can eat that while I finish. So far, I am really loving this book. If you haven't read Six of Crows, I highly recommend. It's YA, but it's like the perfect combination for me for like an intriguing read, because there's multiple character point of views. Everyone's interesting, a little bit devious. There's a heist, so there's also like intrigue and plot twists. And this is honestly like everything, almost everything I wanted from the sequel. I wanted some characters to get together faster, but I think that's just me. I think it's written well, like it's going at the pace that it should. But we'll see what happens in the end. I'm actually kind of nervous. Anyways, the other thing I wanted to tell you about is these cool new headphones that I got. I actually got them for the holidays, but I've been using them when I film videos now because I like to film with silence, so you can sort of hear like the ASMR cooking sounds. But to be honest, to cook in dead silence is kind of really boring. So that's where these come in. They're actually bone conducting headphones, so they use vibration. I'll link them down below. They're by Shocks. And they sort of just attach around your head. They're super comfortable and they don't go in your ear. It's focusing on my eyeballs, but they don't go in your ear. They go like slightly in front of your ear. You can wear them with your hair down or up. I'm not sure how they would work with glasses, but they are great. I actually first heard about them from my friend who likes to run but wants to make sure she's like safe. So they're great for hearing like traffic while you're running or cycling or hiking outside. But I do it so I can film my videos and still listen to music and it's not picked up on camera. And then I can still hear my surroundings to make sure I'm recording the sounds that I want. I don't like wearing headphones with a bar on the top. For some reason, the pressure bothers my head really fast, and I also don't love the pressure on my ears, especially when I'm wearing earrings. But at the same time, I also don't like things sticking in my eardrums. I feel like, I don't know, maybe my ear hole sizing is just weird, but it always slips out. So these are great. They stay very secure. You can run in them. You could work out with these and jump around. So I love them because they're very versatile and they're great for podcasts, and like the music quality isn't as great as like super expensive headphones, but it's good enough for me for the task I'm doing. So I just wanted to recommend them because I don't think that they're like super common and I think more people should know about them. Time to dig in to this and my book. Oh, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. Finished my book. It was so good. Like literally everything I could ever want in a sequel. Highly recommend the Six of Crows series. But now I'm just winding down for the night, honestly. Feeling like an early bedtime is probably a good idea so I can be rested and recharged for the week. I guess that was the goal this weekend, huh? Anyways, I decided to make my favorite quick and easy dinner meal when I don't really feel like doing much, which is pasta. I went ahead and prepped all of my veggies. I had a lone tomato, so we've got that, some mushrooms, capers, broccolini, and I'm going to be using this mighty lupini bean pasta. I've had their other shapes before. They're pretty good. They're pretty protein dense and they're gluten free. And the other thing I like about them is that they actually cook really fast. So I would recommend this. I am one of those weird people who, when I'm sharing a box of pasta with myself, I like want both times to be even. So I use my food scale to make sure that it's half of the box, so next time I won't be too full or too hungry. I don't know. Let me know if anyone else does this. Oh, I'm also going to be cooking my pasta in like an olive oil sauce. So I got some olive oil for some sun-dried tomatoes. I'm kind of letting the sun-dried tomatoes like melt, get the rest of the oil off, and then I'll probably remove them and add them back in later. I had some leftover cashew cream for my tofu scramble that was about to go bad, so I kind of made the sauce a little creamy with some pasta water. And I'm just gonna add my cooked pasta and mix it all up. Okay, this actually came out looking super good. I'm almost thinking I need to make it into a recipe for the blog. So that creamy sauce, oh my gosh, I'm very excited. I got a little bit of everything. Okay, that's a lot of everything. I cooked the pasta like perfectly to al dente too. Usually I cook it too much and it's mushy, but this is actually very delicious. I have been testing the perfect vegan chocolate cookie. And I think I finally nailed it. So these cookies are, it's almost like a brownie as a cookie. I'm a chocolate lover, but the best thing about them is they're filled with chocolate on the inside. It's amazing when they're fresh out of the oven because it's almost like a lava cake but a cookie. But honestly, if you don't feel like reheating them like me right now, it's still super delicious, perfect balance of chocolate. I'm like really excited for this recipe. I just took the dogs out for their nightly potty and did the dishes. So I think I'm going to head to bed a little early tonight. So that way I can wake up early tomorrow and get the week started out on a productive note. So I'm just gonna end the video here. Thank you all so much for watching and spending this weekend with me. Let me know if you like more videos like this. And yeah, I hope you're taking care of yourself and I look forward to seeing you virtually soon. Bye.